1974 to 78, and I just got out. We were class of 81, and I was fortunate to graduate, no problem. We had 72 people start, and only 12 graduated. And the first thing right off the bat, I'm going to Vietnam, and I couldn't tell anybody. And the very first experience was we were actually saving lives, because helicopters and planes were taking off from Saigon, and we were actually rescuing all these pilots who knew how to take off. They didn't know how to land in the water. So we were actually rescuing. So we actually rescued hundreds of people for my first mission. And so we would take them on board the ship, and then we'd bring them to the Philippines. And the irony of this whole story also is 4 helicopters landed on the platform of one of the ships, and 4 of us were pushing $500,000 helicopters over the side. And one of them ended up being a helicopter pilot 6 months later, and he just couldn't believe that he was pushing $500,000 helicopters over the side. So that was just amazing, all the things. And when we're doing it, we didn't realize that was a historical moment. If you look at the History Channel, they actually have people pushing these helicopters over the side. And here I was, 19 years old, young and dumb, pushing these over, and it's unbelievable we experienced all that. Another time, we got to do a community service. Rotary's about community service, and my first community service project, I like to think, was we had to clear a channel in the Philippines, and we blasted off 1,000 pounds of underwater demolition. And it was pretty exciting, because not only do we clear the channel, but what happens when you blow off that much explosives? It implodes the fish's brains, and they're perfectly intact. So we were going around in a boat and scooping up all the fish, and then we were negotiating with the local villagers for beer and pig and lumpia. And so we got a free party by helping them. We not only cleared the channel, but we had the greatest party, and the fish were perfect. So they had the most fish they've ever had in years. Plus they had a clear channel, courtesy of the Navy. So another good experience.
Where in the Philippines would that be?
Oh, it was one of the islands. I can't remember. The other thing is, Hell Week was I thought Hell Week was great. Some of the people got so screwed up, though. I loved it. I mean, it was all a game. It was all a game. Some of the people got so screwed up, though, they could not actually cut their pancakes with a fork and knife. It was just so weird to see people get so mushy after about 4 or 5 days. And some people got so screwed up, we learned afterward, that some were married, and it turned out they were going home after Hell Week, because you did get a little time off, and they were abusing their spouses, their wives. There's no women in the SEALs. I don't know if anyone knew that here. There's never been a woman in the SEALs. But anyway, they were going home and beating up their wives because they got all mushed up, so that they were kicked out. And Tyler didn't tell you about, there's basically 2 or 3 ways. You either you volunteer in, you volunteer out. And you ring a bell 3 times, you're out. And I tell you, they get you out. It's amazing. Once you ring that bell, within an hour, you're gone. It's like a cancer. They do not want any losers in that compound. And I can't believe how fast they got rid of you. The other way is if you failed any test, whether physical or mental. So if you had, for instance, we had this underwater where you had to swim 50 yards, underwater, up and back, and several people could not do it. And they gave you 2 tries, and they literally were swimming the breaststroke, and then all of a sudden they pass out. They pull them up to the surface, give them air, fresh air, and they tried again. They failed, so they were gone. So you either failed by written, or if you failed by physical, or you just quit. And it was amazing how disciplined they were. It was also, they had one of the toughest obstacle courses. The obstacle course had a cargo net. I don't know how many stories high. And we had several people, they'd get to the top, but they'd be weak, and then they'd fall down and break their legs, so there goes another couple. And probably the most dangerous experience, or scariest, I would say, is rock portage. Down at Coronado, there's a bunch of rocks down there by the Del Coronado, the jetty. And we had to swim out at 3 in the morning, and we had to, you work as a team. Everything's about team. By the way, you can, how's that saying go? You can trust a Navy SEAL with your life, but not your money or your wife. So anyway, we had to work as a teammates, and because we weren't paddling together, the boat capsized, and the guy in front of me broke his leg right on the rocks. So we had to do it again, and you learn how to stroke in unison. And the other one, another experience about teamwork and also understanding the ocean. They said, okay, idiots, no one had a name. You're either idiots or asshole, or, you know, it's just, you had to go under the sea. They said, okay, you're going to go in the surf zone, and there were like 12, 15-foot waves. And we could not get through the surf zone. We were getting beat up. And then they said, there is a technique. And so they brought us back after an hour of recovering, and they said, you got to go underneath the waves. It was amazing. Just a simple technique of going underneath the waves. We all did it, and no big deal. And so what it took us 15, 20 minutes before, it took us 5 minutes. So everything was about learning techniques.